For more than 5 years of active trading, I have learned to focus only on the most important things. You only need one simple strategy and flawless adherence to the plan to start earning consistently. My plan is very simple and consists of the most basic things. I will show you not only the theory, but also my real intraday trades that I make over 30,000 per month. Let's go! Let me show you without any cheat indicators how my strategy looks like, which we are going to use today. Here we obviously have two zones of interest, and the first task you have to face is to identify the key zones of interest. You can do it very easily with the help of this indicator. You can add it from the indicators panel, write its name, support and resistance from the chart prime author. But the idea is simple enough. You can draw some primary basic zones of interest and see how the chart interacts with these zones of interest. And the next we will use two time frames, a senior and a junior one. In my case, the senior time frame is 5 minutes. Now I see that my chart has approached the upper boundary, which acts as my zone of interest. I do a very simple action. I switch to a lower time frame and look for reasons why the chart should turn around or push away from this zone. The easiest way to do this is to use a trend line. You can turn on the linear chart type to make the trend line more accurate. Here I would accordingly already enter the trade after this breakdown and retest. Where can we have a stop? I put the stop loss either behind the high or a little further away, and accordingly the take can be placed on the update of any minimum. I will use only one more cheat tool. It is an automatic indicator of the imbalance zone, and it shows me where it is easier and more correct to set my take profit limit. So we get the next trade, which is easily closed, and now we wait until the chart comes to the lower boundary, which we have marked. Here the chart has approached the lower boundary, and here again we need a trend line to draw it. Let's assume that this is how we will draw the trend line. Let's see how the chart reacts. We have a breakdown of this trend line, and right now we are testing the trend line. I currently somewhere here I also put the entry point. Here on the imbalance zone I put the take profit. And I move to the stop loss so that my trade will be safe enough. Don't forget that there can be squeezes. Of course, this doesn't always mean that your stop loss should be so long, but I consider that risk-profit ratio is 1.89 to be as adequate as possible. And let's take a look at this trade and see how it closes. In general, as you can see, the price after a while also reached the take profit. Before we move on to analysis of real trades on this strategy, I would like to tell you that all the trades you see in the video, you can automatically copy them using my broker's copy trading. To do this, you need to go to this channel using the link from the description and send me a message with the keyword copy trading. In my channel, you can also find data from the accounts where these trades are made. You can take a look. Stop by if you're really interested. Let us now move on to the trade. With the help of our indicator, we automatically see the upper zone of interest to which our chart is moving right now. I suggest switching from the senior time frame to the junior time frame. That's my next action. But before that, I forget to highlight this area so that it is not lost. Here we have a resistance area, here we have a support area, and here we have a level, behind which have accumulated a lot of stops. I highlighted just in case I have to trade up to this level. What do we see here? We can draw a trend line, let's say through these two tops, and see how the price will behave. Here we see a breakout and a retest. I will use the tool to open a short position. The goal I propose, of course, to overtake the level that I highlighted earlier. And stop loss I can adjust depending on the ratio of risk and profit. My one very important advice for beginners: do not chase high ratios like 2, 3, 4 and so on. The smaller stop loss is, the more likely you will catch it. So here I can confidently put a trade with about this ratio. It is important that my stop will be above the previous local maximum, and here these conditions are met. So let's take a look at the trade. Well, look, that's how we have the realization of the downward movement in just a couple of hours. I would say it looks very beautiful and successful. On the first trade, I earned 672 with a risk of 50%. It means 500. This is an acceleration of the deposit from 1000 to 2 or maybe 3000. as part of my copy trading, which you can also join. And now I propose to go to the review of the second trade. Time frame equals 15 minutes. I have defined the key area at the top and the key area at the bottom. And let's see how the chart behaves. The most important thing is to touch the zones of interest. Now we are touching the zone of interest. I switched to the 5-minute time frame in order to determine the possible reasons for the stock market's reversal. But here we can simply draw trend lines, such as this line at the top, let's say this line at the bottom. It already looks like a falling wedge in its structure. So our task is to watch the upper line as closely as possible, whether we will have a breakout or a test. So as we can see, we have a breakout. The indicator indicates us an additional area, which can also act as a zone of interest for us. I will also note it here, and we will wait for either a test of this area, as it is happening now, or a test of the broken trend line. In general, we can already enter a trade on the upside right now. In order not to be confused where to put the take profit, I will turn on the imbalance indicator and realize it. For example, my take profit can be here. I'm completely satisfied with the risk-profit ratio, and my stop is where it should be. So let's see how the small trade works out. As you can see, we reached take profit quite close. In the real trade, 64,842, I had made a take profit just somewhere at the same level. Thus, in one trading session with a balance of 1,000, I managed to make 3,000. These trades could be copied by you absolutely automatically. For this, I remind you, write to me in a private message, keyword copy trading. My friends, I have told you today the very basic fundamentals of my almost daily strategies that I use very often. This strategy consists of only the most important things, so if you approach it wisely, you can start making money today. Thank you for watching this video. Bye everyone.